Once again, I'd like to thank my brother Weldon for coming out and what have you. Alright, next up we have another good dear brother and what have you. This is our brother Shaka Salahuddin Shakur and what have you. And pretty much he's the founder of the United Muslim Alliance. Also, he's a member of the Mosque of Islamic Brotherhood and is the former chairman of the New York chapter of the New Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. Also a former member of the Black Panther Collective. He was born in New York City, Bronx, 1969, August 12th, Black August. Founder of Janame University. I'm sorry, pronounce it? Janame University. And he's also a recording artist and second CEO of Maroon Records, Multimedia, and also is an author of a book named The Bandana Republic and what have you. Once again, our brother Shaka Shakur, thank you for coming
Assalamu alaikum. Well, basically, United Muslim Alliance is a twofold organization. For those that are familiar, we studied our history. And we took the works of Brother El-Haj Malik Al-Shabazz. We took his approach with the OOAU and we combined it with the Mosque Inc. And together we formed United Muslim Alliance. Our first mission was to go about what we call Pan-African Islamic approach. See, in studying our history, we understand how a lot of our history has been misplaced. Like earlier, the brother spoke on the Arab slave trade. People don't know that we're the first Arabs. So that was infighting going on, as well as our invasion. And we felt that part of this spiritual war is based on a lack of tangible knowledge of self. If you don't know where you're from or where you're going, it's easy to be misled on this earth. So can you imagine in the spiritual realm? As a Muslim, like the brother, I come from an Islamic background, church first, and then Islamic first to the 5% nation, and then teaching the Elijah Muhammad until now. And what I've seen along that path is you start to begin to understand that spirituality plays a major role in everything we do. But we just don't know how to define it because we define it through the language and the eyesight of someone who does not look like us.
That's right.
See, this is where the spirit world and the physical world cross over.
Yeah.
We believe that there is a devil and then there is a Satan, or Shaitan as we would call it. The devil would be in physical form, let's just say, the Tea Party. That would be, not because they're white, because of the role they play. Because here you have disenfranchised white people who have been taught all their life that they're supposed to have something, and then now they don't have it, so they're mad at everybody else. But they're being controlled by a higher group of these Europeans who would be in league with Shaitan because they know the truth, they just refuse to show it. Throughout the Bible and the Quran, you see that Shaitan has no power. The power of Shaitan is the absence of your knowledge. The absence of you knowing God, so he can easily lead you astray. In the Quran it speaks during judgment of Yawm Qiyamah that Shaitan will be standing right beside Allah. And when you start to say, well, it's your fault, he'll say, no, you knew the truth before I got there. You let me lead you astray, don't blame me. That is the essence of what we're saying. We're also saying that it's not, like I told the brother, it's not that we have an issue with spirituality, we're spiritual by nature. We just don't know how to focus our spirituality. And we get confused because it comes in so many forms. And because we have a European-dominated mindset, we think in division. If you're a Muslim and I'm not, there's no chance of unity. But if you, as a Muslim, I look back at the life of the Prophet Muhammad, and I see here's a man who got along with everybody. Then I look at Jesus and Moses and Noah, and I notice that all of these prophets had the ability to get along with everyone, no matter where they came from, because they all agreed on one God. So we call that Tawheed, or the ultimate unity. And as African people, it's kind of contradictory to say that we're the creators of all, but yet we can't come together amongst ourselves.
That's right.
And I think that a lot of our focus has to be within self. In Islam, we believe that the first union is you and God. And then after you and God, you, your family and God. Then you, your community and God. So we have a role to play within that. And this is what we call the greater jihad. And I guess later I'll go into explaining, what we consider that. There are three basic levels of struggle. That's what jihad means, not CNN jihad. What it means is the struggle of the hand, meaning what we can change with our hand. The struggle of the tongue, speaking truth to power. And the struggle within the heart, that's self. And like the brother, I agree, if we don't control ourselves and govern ourselves, and begin to have a revolution within self, then we stand no chance of having an outward revolution. If we don't first have unity within self, I should be able to look at every human being on this earth and see myself in some aspect. If I can't do that, then I'm not prepared to have any kind of revolution. And we cannot let the devil's greatest weapon, which is not hate, not anger, but fear. The devil utilizes fear. Fear creates doubt. Doubt creates anger. Anger creates destruction. And we have to capture that, because if you move with the power of Allah, of God, there is no fear, because you have what we call faith. Faith is when you know that this is going to turn out right. I don't know how, but it's going to turn out right. And if we begin to exercise that on a common level, we in the United Muslim Alliance, feel that once we pull that energy to a common source, what's the difference between a Christian and a Muslim?
That's right.
What's the difference between a Judaist and a Christian and a Muslim? Nothing. You know, we even have to redefine words we use. Sometimes words throw us off. We don't see Muslim as just one who submits to God. We see it as a seeker of truth and one who submits to God. So that encompasses everybody. We see Christians as people of a Christianized thought or pure intellect. Not saying they're more pure than other people, this is their approach. And if you combine all of this, this is all of our approach. So to wrap it up and not be long, Ummah, the acronym, means community. We designed it like that because that's what we have to do. We're taught as Muslims, when you move in, the first thing you do is establish the community. You know, establish the community of God. And then make God tangible in this world. See, that's something else our oppressor has done. They've separated this world from God. So we think to be spiritual is weak, and to be ultra, this world is strong. But it is a combination of both that got us through the slave ships. It's a combination, I'm a Haitian, it's a combination of both that won Haiti. We didn't win Haiti because we were great gun and bow and arrow. We won because we understood the power of the ancestors, the power of God, and that weapon. So we have to utilize both. And in our day and time now, if we don't have those things, something as basic as a conversation like this will go nowhere without God. So we want everybody to just keep your mind on the oneness, which is the universal law of Tawheed, or God.